So, introduction to history.
Oh, where are you? So where are you exactly right now, Lisa? Which city?
Oh, uh, somewhere beside Shanghai is a small country.
So exactly what time is it there?
1:44 a.m.
Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry that you have to get up for this.
Oh, that's good.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's. I'll let you read. Okay.
Okay. How
Go ahead.
to read dates out loud. As you study history, there will be many dates that you will need to say in English. Let's practice. Sometimes you see years written like this.
2000 AD and 550 BC. What does it mean? Right?
Okay.
Nice and loud.
2000 AD, 550 BC. AD is after Jesus was born. BC is before Jesus was born.
Good. Mm-hmm. Remember AD and BC. Anno Domini, which is after Jesus was born, or the year of our Lord, and BC is before Christ or before Common Era, which is before Jesus was born. Okay. Continue.
Oh, AD is after Jesus was born, and AD comes from Latin anno. Oh, I don't know how to say Scotland.
Anno Domini. It's Latin. Anno Domini.
Meaning in the year of our Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And BC is before Jesus was born, which BC comes from before Christ.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when we read dates, again so we're gonna really start the course when we talk about civilizations around 3000 BC. Okay, so 3000 before Christ. Okay, but then when you get to year zero or year one, then it starts to go back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 BC, all the way up until 2021. Okay. Tina, are you with us? Tina?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, Tina, read for us, please.
Okay, how to read dates aloud. How do you say 735 BC? Answer 735 BC or 735 BC.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the 5 historical periods. Okay, Tina, this is very interesting. Okay.
All
This
right.
this is how I like to break down history. Okay, because when you look at history, you really have to be organized. You have to break it down into subject, categories, timeline, and dates, right? But you need to break it down and be organized when you think of history, or else it's just going to get chaotic with all these dates and names and times, right? So let's break it down into 5 periods. Okay, Tina?
All right. So human history has 5 main periods. There's prehistory,
Mm-hmm.
and the number is, I think, 5 million BC.
Yeah, so let's say 5 million BC. Okay. So this is the start of evolution, right? Let's just
Mhm.
say 5 million. Yep.
And then you have antiquity, and this is 3000 BC to 1 AD.
Good. So antiquity, this is where we're going to focus. This course is classics, so it's pretty much going to consist of this period, antiquity.
All right, then we have the Middle Ages, and that's 476 AD.
So this date is important because it's the fall of Rome. The fall of Rome marks the end of antiquity.
And then we have Early Modern Age, and that's 1492 AD.
Ooh, what happened in this year? What happened in 1492? Yeah, it was the early parts of the Renaissance, but it was the
Is
early.
Christopher Columbus, did he come and discover North America then?
Yes, good. Exploration, the age of exploration, Christopher Columbus and other navigators, explorers, yes, discovered the Americas. Yes. We call this the beginning of the modern age.
Okay. And then we have modern age, which is 1789 AD to present day.
Good. Yeah. 1789. What happened in this year? This is
Oh,
an
French Revolution. Sorry, I got really excited.
Yes, the French Revolution. Good. Yep. And this we can consider the modern age. And then, of course, after 1945, you have the nuclear age, right? Which brings us into another age. Yeah. Okay. Good. So this is how I like to break down historical periods. Again, our focus is going to be this period in yellow. Okay. So let's read each one again. Tina, go through each one.
Okay, so prehistory, 5 million BC to 3000 BC. This period began with the appearance of the first human beings in about 5 million BC and ended with the invention of writing in about 3000 BC.
Good. So prehistory pretty much means before writing, before history was written down. So we started the writing process in 3000 BC. Okay. Antiquity.
So antiquity is 3000 BC to 476 AD, and this period began with the invention of writing in 3000 BC, and it ended with the fall of the Roman Empire in 476 AD.
Good. So this period, okay, roughly 3,500 years is antiquity. Lots of stuff happened in this time that we're going to cover.
And we have the Middle Ages. So this began with the fall of the Roman Empire, and it ended with the European discovery of America.
Mm-hmm. The Middle Ages, also known as the Dark Ages, right? Good.
So the early modern age began with the European discovery of America, and it ended with the French Revolution. And then the modern age began with the French Revolution, and it's up until present day.
Good. Good. So again, I asked you guys a question. Why do you think it is called prehistory?
Sir, I think you answered it yourself. You were like, it was before the invention of writing, so it's like before history was written down.
Good. I did answer it. I was just checking to see if you guys were listening. Good. So Sabrina, read.
Why do you think it's called prehistory? Answer, the prefix pre means before. Prehistory is what happened before written history. Prehistory is the period of time before written records.
Good. This is why officially we call it prehistory, right? Anything before roughly 3000 BC.
Oh wait, you're asking?
No. Yeah, it was answered. Yeah.
Sorry, I sort of like got dazed for a moment. I'm staring at the screen for so long. I'm not focusing too much, I guess.
Do you have class first period, Nicholas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of time to be on to be looking at a screen.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, I post these PowerPoints so you have a chance to go through them again, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So that was Intro to History Part 1. Now let's go to Intro to History Part 2. So this is considered Intro to World History. We're going to go through some of the same terms, but let's go through this PowerPoint again. Okay, it's another PowerPoint looking at more dates, more periods. Stephanie, are you with us? Is your mic working?
Yep, it's working.
Someone's
Okay.
mic is on and off.
Guys, make sure your mic is off if you're not talking, or if I don't ask you. Please turn off your mic. All right, Stephanie. Tell us again.
BC stands for before Christ, or the time before period before the birth of Jesus Christ. BC counts down to year 1. AD stands for unknown dominion, which means the year of our Lord, or the time period after the birth of Jesus Christ. AD counts forward from 1 year.
Therefore, how do we read centuries, Stephanie?
The year 1 to 99 are the first century. The year 100 to 199 are the second century. The year 200 to 299 are the third century, and so on.
Okay, now let's learn some new terms. Some terms you're going to learn about throughout the course, but let's learn some new ones. Stephanie?
Periodization, how specific blocks in history are identified. Neolithic ages, aka the Stone Age, 10,000 BC, to various times of 8,000 to 2,400 BC, depend on the region. Agrarian, having to do with farming. Domestication, to tame an animal for human purposes. Nomadic, moving from one place to another. Hunter-gatherer, early ways men found food.
Good, thank you. Yes, so domestication's a big one, okay, around 10,000 BC, okay, which brings us into the Neolithic Age, also known as the New Stone Age, around 10,000 BC, okay, with the domestication of plants and animals, okay. Nomadic means moving from one place to another, okay. So these are some terms you need to know. Okay. And now let's look at some more periods in history, please. Major periods in history, Stephanie.
Prehistory, period before recorded history. River Valley Civilization, 8,000 to 500 BC. Classic Civilization, Greece and Rome, 500 BC to 600 AD. Middle Ages, Europe, Africa, and Asia, 600 to 1,450 AD. Renaissance and Reformation, 14,000 1,450 to 1,750 AD. Scientific, economic, and political revolution,
1750 to 1914.
1750 to 1914. Numbers. Global conflict and issues, 1914 to present.
Thank you so much. Yes. So again, these are the major periods in history, more ways that you can, like I said, categorize history and view and look at history, right? So again, we're going to be really focusing on numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But mostly focusing on number 3, classical Civ, Greece and Rome. So this is going to be our main focus of study. But we're still going to start with 1, 2, and end with 4. Okay. What's the Reformation? What was the Reformation, guys? What does that mean? Yes, it was the Reformation of the Catholic Church into different denominations that we know now, whether it be the Anglican Church, okay, or Presbyterian Church, yeah, which happened in the 1600s. Yeah. And Stephanie, finish it off for us. This is the last slide here.
Prehistory, period before recorded history, before 8000 BC. Neolithic Revolution, River Valley Civilization, 3200 to 400 BC. 1760 BC, Code of Hammurabi. Hammurabi. 1300 BC, Jewish, the Ten Commandments. Or
Arian.
Aryan migration, 1500 to 1200 BC.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So again, this is a lot to throw at you right now, but these are just the major periods. Okay. I think that these 7 are also really important. If you can categorize it like this with these 7, okay, it's a good way to remember history timelines. Okay. So what you're going to do for me right now, taking a look at this sheet right now, it's a PDF sheet. This one right here, World History Timeline. If you click on that, you see up here, I have a timeline. You see these terms right here, Middle Ages, Egypt, Rome, Columbus, Greece, USA, birth of Christ. You need to fit it in at the bottom. Okay? Fit in the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with these 7. Okay? And then also at the top, fill in the dates. Fill in the dates. Now, the dates might be off a little bit, but try your best to go up in order. Okay? So you can draw this on a piece of paper at home. Do it on a Google document. Okay? So spend maybe 15 minutes completing this timeline. So I want everybody to create a timeline. Martin Luther, yes. Martin Luther, yes. Constantine was around 300. Yeah, that's in Rome. The answer is Martin Luther. Okay. So complete history timeline, 15 minutes. It's up to you. If you guys want to print out this sheet, you can print out the sheet as well. Okay.
Sir, are we handing this in?
So remember what I said earlier. I said whatever we do during class, right? At the end, towards the end of class, I'm going to create a homework document, and not everything we do in class, but most of the stuff will have to be also included in the homework. Okay. So something like this, I may or may not ask for it, but I want everybody to do it. So think of it as if I am going to be collecting it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So what did we get? Let's work through our timeline chart. Let's work through it. What did we get for the first one here? The long one starting on the left. What did you put in this box right here?
Ancient Egypt?
Who said that?
Sabrina.
Yes. Good. Ancient Egypt. Take a look at how long ancient Egypt spanned for. That's a very, very long time, thousands of years. Okay. When we think of continuity, stability, and change, Egypt is all about stability. Okay. It was a civilization that lasted a very long time. What came next after Egypt?
Ancient Greece.
Oh, good. Ancient Greece. You got it. Ancient Greece. And soon after, very similar to the culture and the values of Greece, came what civilization?
Ancient Rome.
Sorry.
Ancient Rome. Good. Good. And Sarah, what happened here? At the beginning of Anno Domini. It was
The Middle Ages. No.
this one right here.
180. 180. I'm sorry.
It was the birth of who? Someone very important.
Birth of Christ. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Why was that so hard? It's such an easy answer.
Good. Thank you so much. Birth of Christ here. Yep. So if you could see, this is during the Roman power, right? Rome was in power during this time. I'm sure you've learned lots about this period in grade 10 religion, Christ and culture. Okay. Good. Thank you. And then what comes after that? After the fall of Rome, we have for 1,000 years.
The Middle Ages.
Yes, the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages. And then Tina, finish it off. What comes next?
Then we have Columbus, and then USA begins.
And then, yep, USA 1776, around there. Okay. And of course, Canada a little bit later in 1867. All right. Awesome. Now, if you scroll down, now you can look at some more important dates on our timeline of history. Here are some more very important major dates, okay? In antiquity, okay? Most of these dates are, yes, in antiquity. So these are some important dates that we are going to cover. So if you get a chance maybe later, if you can take these dates and if your timeline allows it, if you created a nice big timeline, you can take these dates and put them here in your timeline, okay, where appropriate. Okay? That's something you can do later.
Sir, I had a question.
Yes.
Like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, is there no evidence of it?
We're going to get there. We're going to talk about the Hanging Garden of Babylon. Yes. That'll be in the first unit. So just hang on, okay? Hang on to that question because when we get there, you'll learn more about it, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, yes, this you're going to continue throughout the day. If you, again, put some of these dates into your timeline, that would be great. Okay. But we are going to move on with archaeology, digging up history, digging up the past. USSR. Who would like to read about archaeology? Okay, Sabrina, yes, let's go through archaeology.
Archaeology, digging up the past. The study of the past can be broken down into 3 phases. Stage 1, to unearth the past. This includes locating the data, which may be the written or physical remains of a society. Stage 2, the data is analyzed and interpreted. Section 3, the past is reconstructed.
What is that, Sabrina?
I forgot what it's called. Like the emperor is like he had a bunch of terracotta guards. I don't know what the official name is. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, does anybody want to post what they think that is? Just post in the
Terracotta
chat.
warriors?
The terracotta warriors, good. Yeah. Ooh, what is that? What are we looking at? That is beautiful. What is that,
temple?
guys?
A Greek temple?
It is. Do you know which one?
No.
Type in the chat, guys. Good. The Parthenon. Yes, the Parthenon. The Pantheon is in Rome. Yeah, the Parthenon. Good. On the Acropolis in Greece. Oh, this is this is ancient Mesopotamian art. Okay, now let's take a look at some more discoveries. Abu Simbel in Egypt. Continue, Sabrina.
What is archaeology? It is the study of ancient sites and objects to learn about the past. The geographical areas and landscapes, types of human-made objects such as pottery, coins, or writing materials, types of human buildings and earthworks, organic materials such as human remains, and the study of relics by digging up remains of tombs, tools, buildings, fossils, and artifacts.
Anybody here thinking of getting into this field? Anybody here? Anybody? Archaeology? Anybody? No? Okay, continue.
Anthropologists and archaeologists. Anthropology is the study of the origins and development of people and their societies. Archaeology is a specialized branch of anthropology. They study past people and cultures. Archaeologists study artifacts, objects made by human beings. By looking at artifacts, they can see how people develop technology, the skills and tools people use to meet their basic needs.
Good. Yes. So the focus here is artifacts. We're going to be focusing in on a lot of artifacts from antiquity, okay, and ancient time. Okay, so the key here is the difference between anthropology and archaeology. Very similar. Archaeology is a specialized branch of anthro. So what do they do? What's their job, Sabrina?
What does an archaeologist do? They identify sites for study, the dig, and excavation to uncover the past. They preserve artifacts, they record, analyze, interpret, and publish archaeological remains.
I think they also grave rob.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So some more terms here like geology and history and the difference in these terms, Sabrina.
So there's terms. Geology, the science that deals with the layers of the Earth's crust and its history. History deals with the record and interpretation of past events. Political science, the study of the state and how it functions. Paleontology, branch of geology dealing with prehistoric life through the study of fossils. prehistory, the study of life before writing appeared, and sociology, the study of social behavior, especially in relation to the development or changing of society.
Good. Who on Friends was a paleontologist? Any of you watched Friends? Who was a
Ross.
paleontologist? Yes. Yeah. Ross. Okay, so let's take a look at some pictures. Some artifacts, some dice, okay, Roman coins, Greek vase here, very, very popular in Greece. So next we're going to talk about, Stephanie, I'm going to answer your question shortly, okay? How do we preserve things? How are they preserved? And how do we tell the date, how old artifacts are? So first, let's start with why and how are things preserved, Sabrina?
Why are things preserved? Natural preservation. Things are preserved when things are in constant conditions, for example, freezing climate or hot, dry deserts. And artificial preservation, removing organs, artificially dyeing methods, embalming fluid, for example, Egyptians and mummification, and canopic jars.
Good. These are canopic jars here. And the mummification process is a good example of artificial preservation. Okay. And also things that are in very cold climate and very dry climate, like the desert, really, really good for archaeologists because it really preserves the artifacts. That would be natural versus artificial. Next, we're going to look at how do we date, methods of dating artifacts. How do we date how old these things are? Okay. How do we do it? There's a couple ways. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, radiocarbon. Yes, we're going to get there. Radiocarbon. But this is a simpler way, which is the first one. Sabrina.
Methods of dating artifacts. Stratigraphy, study of strats or layers in archaeological remains at a site. The law of superstition. Younger strata will be on top of older strata. The problems are hole digging and mudslides can reverse stratigraphy.
Mm-hmm. So strata, which means layers. Okay, so if we take a look at a picture like this, obviously the lower layers would be older. The higher layers would be younger. Okay, pretty straightforward, right? If we look at something like this, okay, it's a good example. Bones at the bottom, pottery on top. Gives us an idea of how old these items are. And here's another picture. So strata A, strata B, C, D, and E. All right, now the most popular, carbon dating or carbon-14. Please read.
Carbon dating. Archaeologists apply scientific tests such as carbon dating, also known as carbon-14 or C14, to analyze fossils and artifacts that were once living. C14 dating only works for the remains of living things. Non-living things are dated by relative dating. Relative dating groups similar artifacts from earliest to latest.
So this is a better, so right here, radiocarbon dating. This is a really good explanation of what it is and how it works. Okay. Go ahead.
Number 2, radiocarbon dating. It determines the age of organic material by measuring the level of radiocarbon. All living things absorb radiocarbon throughout their lives. At the moment of death, the process is reversed, and radiocarbon begins to decay at a constant rate of 5,730 years. After 5,730 years, the radiocarbon level is exactly half. After another 5,730 years, it is exactly half again. And this is accurate for up to 40,000 years.
Mm-hmm. So this is how it works. The key number, 5,730. After that, radiocarbon level is exactly half of what it once was. And that method continues up to 40,000 years. This is called radiocarbon dating. We take a look at this chart. Okay, this is the third one. Here, let me read this. Go ahead, read.
So, dendrochronology, dating of past events through climatic changes by studying the tree ring growth. Each year, a tree adds a layer of wood to its trunk and branches, so wide rings equals a wet year and narrow rings means it's a dry year. So by comparing trees of unknown age to trees of known age, we can see patterns and therefore establish overlapping ages.
Good. So this is a third way. But the most common is, and the most accurate is definitely the radiocarbon. But this is also popular too. Okay, so some famous archaeologists, of course, Howard Carter, who founded the tomb of Tutankhamun, and Henrik Schliemann, who found Troy. So these are some famous archaeologists here. We'll learn more about them. And what are some tools used? What do you need if you want to be an archaeologist? What do you need to bring with you to the site? Sabrina.
Tools used by archaeologists. They used trowels, brushes, a measure, a line, a spade, dental tools, and levels, and modern technology, including radar, geophysics, and aerial photography.
Yeah, which is very important now. Very important. Geotechnology is very important. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the last slide here, the Lascaux cave paintings in France. Let's learn a little bit about this. 20,000 years old. Wow. Read, please.
Lascaux is famous for its Paleolithic cave paintings in southwestern France, estimated to be up to 20,000 years old. The paintings consist primarily of large animals once native to the region. Lascaux is a complex cave with several areas, Hall of the Bulls, Passage Gallery, and it was discovered in 1940.
Paleolithic means Stone Age. So France, roughly 20,000 years ago. Who knows where this is? Where is this?
I know.
Write it, type it. What's the empire?
Incas.
Incas, good, yeah. You could see my picture that I have is from this.
Sir, that's like my dad's favorite travel destination. He wants
Oh, yeah. I recommend at some point in your lives you visit Peru and Machu Picchu. Yeah. Okay, let me show you. I have a video here for you on archaeology.
The commute is a bit on the slow side.
But at least there's lots of parking.
The office can be a bit on the quiet side. The accommodation's pretty rustic, but you get to meet the greatest friends of your life. So this is a typical dig, especially in the Near East, where we have a group of workmen who are helping a set of students from Kiel University with their excavation. You can see they're using things like hand shovels and trowels because the work is quite delicate. We don't want to go through anything. So here they're actually clearing away some roof deposits from the building where it collapsed. And you can see it's an absolutely spectacular place to be working. You never know what you're going to dig up, and it's just nice and calm and peaceful. But you get those moments where it's very exciting when you find that thing, that special thing, whatever it might be, some kind of amazing human burial or some amazing find. And it's about setting it all in context. It's never about the one find. It's never about the one thing. It's about what it means as a whole. So on excavations, often you live very close to the site. So, for example, at this site, they have tents and they sleep here at night and they walk just over to the site, which is very close. And you live with a team. You have to get on with everyone. Everyone chips in. You make food. You sleep here, and you have amazing stars at night. The scenery, the whole sort of being outdoors and sort of roughing it a little bit. It kind of adds to the excitement of the job. So I first started getting interested into archaeology when I was 11, and I visited the pyramids in Egypt. And then I went on to do it as an undergraduate at university, went on to do a master's, been on many excavations and really just got into it. And the field work is one of the best aspects of archaeology. So you get a lot of travel and you learn about different cultures and you see amazing archaeological sites all around the world, and you really do get some amazing opportunities.
No, I don't dig holes in the ground unless I'm using a JCB. I'm a geoarchaeologist, so I'm interested in how landscapes have evolved through time and the interaction people have had with them through that period of time. If you do an archaeology degree, you're tackling very big and complex problems. So here in Wadi Faynan, we're dealing with a very complex problem, which is how did people managed to survive here over 8,000 years? How did they develop the first factories? How did they run a massive copper mining and smelting enterprise to do that? So you have to bring together an enormous range of skills and tools to do that, from remote sensing imagery, satellite imagery from space, soil science, technical science in laboratories, mathematics, statistics. So actually, rather than archaeology being the vehicle, you're developing a whole range of really key graduate skills.
Today we are creating a photo log of the entire site. So that basically means we go around to each building, we photograph the whole building generally, and then if there's any specific aspects within that building that need photographing, like a particular niche or a platform or a hearth, we photograph that individually as well. The nice part about this project is that we're creating a little bit of history for everybody to use. This is a portable XRF scanning device, and what this does is it sends out X-ray beams from the front of the instrument into whatever we've decided we're going to be scanning, and it will collect those X-ray beams back and let us know what elements are within the substance we're scanning. You don't just learn about past societies and cultural development, you learn other skills. So IT is quite a big component of an archaeological degree. Archaeologists come from a range of backgrounds. Geography is one of these backgrounds, an environmental background, or perhaps something like a history background and how people develop. I applied to do archaeology at university. I had biology, history and geography, but only because they didn't offer archaeology where I did my A-levels. But it's more the grades, depending on what university you go to, and it does really range. But you don't need to have a specific background, just A-levels to go on to university. So people can come from an art background and do archaeology, or a politics background. And I try to do subjects which might be more relevant, but it's not necessary.
You never get to travel the world normally as a young person, but as an archaeologist, you can come out to these different sites and experience different cultures, different environments, and different countries, and you get a much more broad perspective of life.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. If any of you are interested, I posted here the lost city of Machu Picchu. This is just my archaeology and travel experience on the mountain of Machu Picchu. And I'm not going to go through it all, but if you want to take a look at a little bit of the history, some pictures.
Wait, what was the animal back there, sir?
Yeah, the alpaca. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a llama.
Llama. Yeah. There's alpacas and llamas. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I would have made a joke by saying, "Oh, look, it's a llama," but that would be a little bit. I actually, now I think about it, that sort of may be offensive to people who have that religion. So never mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, you could scroll through it. See, these are pictures that I took when I was there. So yeah, that's my experience of archaeology. And okay, so I posted your homework. Okay, I posted your homework here for today. It's called Tools of the Historian. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward for today. If we take a look at the instructions, so you're going to read and take notes from the PowerPoint here, bias and inferences. It just goes through certain terms that you're going to need to know for this course. Also, the difference between primary and secondary sources. So those are both here. Okay, PowerPoint and reading. Number 3 asks you to complete the worksheet, part A and part B. That's this one here. Okay, pretty straightforward. Part A and part B is 1 to 5. And you can find this information in the PowerPoint and reading here. Okay. And last, number 4 is go back and take notes from today's PowerPoints on archaeology, important points, and timeline and important dates. Okay. So that's what you're going to work on for me now. Okay. So it's I think it's pretty detailed here. All you need to know is right here.